What's up, guys, and welcome to another episode of TimToks, the real estate show where we talk about real estate, life, and a little bit of everything else. Roll the intro music. We are back with another episode of TimToks. Thank you so much for being here. Today we have a special lineup for you guys. No guest this week. We'll have a guest next week for you guys, but it's me and Ashley running the show today, and we've got some pretty fun activities planned. We got a market update. We're going to talk about, we have a little surprise that I don't think Ashley has probably ever tried. Ashley has no idea what we're doing.
No, I don't.
But it's going to be really fun. So stick around. Hopefully you're watching on YouTube so that you can actually, or on Spotify, so that you can actually see what's going on. Let's get right into things with the market update. So Ashley, we had a little, what some people are going to say is unfortunate news, somewhat scary news. The interest rate took another pretty serious hike, and now we're well over 6% today. And today, for those of you who are going to be watching this in a couple of weeks, because that's, we have a little bit of a delay, today is September 22nd. And so hopefully the rates won't have moved by the time this airs. But there was a pretty decent jump. And so what that means is a few things. First of all, stop freaking out. You guys are, if you're watching this or if you're seeing these rates jump, you're probably freaking out a little bit because you're going, oh God, my purchasing power is going way down. And that is true. Your purchasing power is going down. But here's what happens when those interest rates move up. And you guys have probably seen this if you've been looking at homes, if you've been watching the market, is home prices declining. So hear me out on this. The interest rate, let's say it jumps to 6.5. So your interest rate is up 1.5% more today than it was a month and a half or 2 months ago or whatever. With that jump, maybe your purchasing power went down 25 grand or 50 grand. But that house that you wanted, that was a $500,000 house. A few months ago, that would have sold for $575 because it would have had 5 offers within the first day, and there would have been absolutely no room for you to put in an offer because your purchasing power was at 500 and 575 is just way out of your price range. But that's where that house went. Now that $500,000 house is going to sell for $475. So you're going to see a decline in that price, and now you have a difference of $100,000. So yes, your purchasing power went down. Let's say your purchasing power went down 75 grand, 80 grand, 90 grand, right? It doesn't matter. You're saving the cash up front, and that is huge because most people are in their houses for 5 years. And if you were to calculate how long it would take for you to make up 100 grand in interest, right? Because you're going to be paying more in interest with the interest rate going up. 100 grand in interest, right? If you had bought that house at 575, that's going to be way longer than 30 years, which is the average mortgage. So yeah, it's scary. Your purchasing power went down. But to be honest with you, if I'm a buyer, I'm going, keep that interest rate moving because that means that there's going to open up more doors. You're going to have an opportunity.
I'll say all those opportunities open up.
Exactly. I mean, I think we're just at the beginning. We're just starting. And, I'm not an economist, but we are headed towards a recession. We are really in a recession. And I think this is an opportunity for a lot of buyers to come out of the woodworks and make their move. So there's your market update. Hopefully that was helpful. You're going to be watching this a couple weeks later, but I think it'll still be pretty relevant. The same story will be continuing. All right. So we got all the serious stuff out of the way. Not all the serious stuff. We'll have more serious stuff on the show later today, but we got the scary part out of the way. Hopefully that alleviated your guys' fears just a little bit.
I feel a little bit better.
Me too. When I think about it, I get worried, right, for my buyers that I'm working with. But then I think you have to put it down on paper. Write it down on paper. It's not scary when you write it down on paper and you actually look at what's happening. And are you losing your opportunity? No, the opportunity is going to open up. Yeah. Because sellers are still going to have to sell their houses, and they're not going to be able to sell at the same price with that crazy interest rate. They're going to have to go down. Yeah. All right. Time for our surprise. Oh, okay. This is not even going to be that exciting, no. but it's exciting for me because I've never done this. Okay, hold on. I have done this. I do this every day.
He made me promise that I would do it.
Before she knows what she did, I made her promise that she was going to do it. I did. And she promised she would do it. Yeah. So Okay, I brought my bag with me today.
I'm a little nervous.
Okay, here we go. You like coffee and Red Bull, right?
Yeah.
All right. We're going to do pre-workout before we get into this. Woo!
Listeners gonna be like, "Oh my gosh,
what is happening? What is going on with the team today?" This is, we can't say the label, the name of the company, but this is Pre-Workout Explosion Icy Rocket Freeze. It is equivalent to 10 cups of coffee.
Oh my god!
and we're gonna do heaping scoops because we're not babies over here, okay?
I'm a baby.
I when I walked in the office this morning, I saw a Red Bull on your desk. Yeah. So I went, shoot, she's going to really wig out when she has to do this because she's already caffeinated.
Did you know about this? No?
Ethan had no idea. I kind of want to make Ethan do it too, but but I didn't make him promise beforehand. Okay, are we ready? All right, we're going to do this all on camera. Okay, oh my gosh. Okay, but here's the deal. I didn't tell you the worst part.
What?
We're gonna dry scoop it.
Oh!
Okay.
That's why you filled it with water.
I 100%. Before we got into, a little clarification. Before we got in here today, I told Ashley, by the way, look at our brand new TimTok mugs.
Beautiful.
Before we got in here today, I pulled the TimTok mugs out, put them on this little stand. I said, you know what, Ashley, we need to fill these with water so that they. I knew that after we did what we were gonna do, and she fell for it. Okay, are you ready for this?
So scared, but yeah.
Okay, here we go. So I'm gonna take it.
Nervous.
So, have you ever dry scooped before?
No.
Okay. Well, it's a horrible experience. That's why we have the water here. But all I will say is, don't breathe while you're doing it.
Okay.
Because it's powder. It's like the cinnamon challenge. It'll go straight out your nose or your mouth.
I'm gonna be snorting.
Thank God the cameras are rolling because one of us is gonna end up spitting some of this out. I just know it. Okay, here we go. So we're gonna get a healthy scoop. Oh, that's not healthy enough. There we go. A healthy scoop here. Oh my God. That's a lot of powder.
All the white stuff on the table. We're not doing anything.
Nothing weird is happening here. Okay, here's your spoon. Don't spill it. Okay. All right. I'm gonna get my spoon.
So
have to try really hard not to laugh.
When you put it in your mouth,
just dump it in. So you're gonna go and then you're just gonna dump it in.
And then I just swallow.
And then no. So then as soon as you get it in, you're gonna start salivating, right? Because it's very sour.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
And so you're gonna just let it sit there for a second. Just don't breathe. Let it sit. Don't laugh. I know this is gonna be difficult.
Oh man. Okay.
And then once the saliva has watered it down a little bit, then you can open your mouth because then you won't
Okay. I'll just follow what you do.
Okay. Are you ready? Ready? Oh, I hate this so much. Okay, I gotta stop laughing. All right, ready? Go.
Oh my God.
Oh.
It looks like.
It's pretty tasty.
It's pretty good.
It's pretty tasty.
It's not. I wasn't expecting the texture, I guess.
Mm-hmm. It's very powdery.
All of a sudden, I'm like, why is my mouth foaming?
Yeah. Okay. Woo.
I feel like I had rabies there.
But you're gonna feel like you have rabies in just a second when the 10 cups of coffee kicks in. Get your TimToks mugs.
And your pre-workout.
Okay, you're gonna have to let me know when this starts kicking it. We are back after cleaning up the mess that just occurred.
I'm so sorry.
This is gonna be the greatest episode we've ever made. So that was Ashley's first Pre-workout
Yeah, I've never had pre-workout.
and dry scooping experience.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that was gnarly.
She's going to let us know when it kicks in. I do this. I take this every day because I work out every day. So the effect is a little
It's a good
more...
thing we have a treadmill here at work. Be a little hamster.
Yeah. Too bad you didn't bring your hula hoop.
It's actually in my car.
Oh, well, that's going to be helpful. That's going to be helpful. You'll need that shortly. Let us know when you start tingling.
Okay.
Okay. All right. But we have a game today that we're going to be playing. It's a informative game.
Yes.
Okay. So what are we doing today?
We are going to be playing Realtor Yay or Nay.
Woo! And do we have any hand-fashioned paddles? To use?
Yeah. I DIY'd because our budget is small.
No, it's not.
I used a spoon
Okay.
and some paper.
Here we go.
So you got the
Yay
check mark and the...
or nay. Oh, this is awesome. So should I hold both paddles?
Yeah, because if you're like in between, like you're like...
Yeah, it could be like
go both ways
it could be like
kind of thing.
I don't know. Okay.
So I got my list of questions here.
The list of questions.
Because as someone who is not a realtor, I actually do want to know, like, what is the concept with these? Like, are we good with these or not?
It's actually going to be interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So, as a realtor, should you yay or nay to a background check on your clients?
This question is targeted, isn't it? The answer is maybe. If it's a family friend that you've maybe. If it is a family friend that you've known for a while or somebody that you're pretty familiar with, odds are you don't need to do a background check on them. Unless, you probably already know what's going on with them. It's probably not necessary.
Sketchy or...
However, there are some sites that you can pay. It's like a $50 or $75 fee, and you can do a background check on them and make sure they don't have any criminal history. And this could be somebody that reached out to you on social media or just a cold call, or anytime that you're walking into a situation where you might not be totally comfortable with this person, or if you're just getting some weird vibes.
Yeah.
Definitely not a bad idea.
Actually, I think, Tim, don't you have a good story time for this?
Yeah, that's why I said this was a targeted question. So we're going to do a quick story time here. The other day, I actually had posted a new TimToks reel on... Oh my God, I'm starting to tingle a little bit. Have you felt it at all?
Yes, my eyes are like...
This was a bad idea. The other day, I had just posted a TimToks reel actually on my Instagram, and I had somebody because I have my phone number in my bio. I had somebody click on that obviously and reach out to me. They texted me and said, "Hey Tim, I've been watching you on TikTok for a while now. It looks like you have some pretty cool content, and I'm actually an investor that lives out of state, but I've been interested in some new construction homes up in Portland." And I was like, "Awesome, that's great! Like, woohoo, it's working."
Yeah.
I started dialogue with this guy. He seems pretty normal. No serious red flags. Like we chatted over text about 10 or 15 minutes. Oh my God, my heart's beating so fast right now. I'm reliving the story.
I was gonna say.
And then we actually scheduled a phone call with him so that I could talk a little bit more. We chatted for about 10 or 15 minutes on the phone. Everything aligned. He talked about a property investment company. He's like 25 years old and he already had like 11 properties. I was like, wow, this is like, wow, really good for you. Like, how did you do this? And he said that he met this guy who would, was like a CEO at Berkshire Hathaway, which is one of the top real estate companies in the world. And he met this guy, and this guy had helped him and his friends start investing in properties, and it had just kicked off, and then he was wanting to expand to the Portland area. And then he started talking about these new construction homes that he wanted to see, and he was like, "Look, I actually might be out there this next weekend. Can you show me some houses? Let's get this done." In his budget, and then he goes with his budget. His budget was like between, I think it was like 800,000 to like $1 million. Wow. And I was like, "Oh, awesome!" Like, right at first you're like, "Oh, this is great!" Like a high budget. And that was a little bit of a red flag for me because I'm like, how is this guy? And he said he could do all cash. And I was like, where's this guy getting $1 million from? Like, that's a lot of money.
Yeah.
So and sometimes you have a gut feeling. So I go back to because I was out of the office. I go back to my office. I sit down at my desk and I'm just kind of thinking there for a second. Like, this is a little weird. So I just Google this guy's name and it's all normal. He has a Facebook. On his Facebook, he's got like 30 comments on each photo, which is kind of a lot. And it's just like people are like, "Awesome, Alex. Love you, Alex. Like, Alex, you're the man, blah, 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 blah," right? And then I went to the end of the Google search. I don't know why. Just was like, there's got to be something more on this guy. And I see like a Facebook post. It pops up in the Google search results. And it caught my eye because it said his name is a very, very sick man. And I was like, what? That's okay. That's a little weird. And there was a photo next to it. And the photo looked like a mugshot.
Ooh.
And so I click on it and it takes me to the Douglas County in Georgia, their like Facebook watch group for their police department. A lot of cities have that. And there was like a mugshot of this guy. And it was like from August 12th. I was like, this is really, really weird. I think this is the same guy. And I look in the comments, and this lady has written in these comments this long thread of just like claiming this guy is like a sociopath, a criminal, a manipulator, and that he's got several like warrants out for his arrest, and there's like records on this guy. I'm like, this is insane. Mm-hmm. So back to the background check. I call my boss. I'm like, we should talk about this because I don't like this guy wants to see properties on like Sunday, and it was like a Thursday. Like, am I gonna get popped?
Yeah.
And we look up a background check on this guy. 38 arrests.
Ooh.
And the most recent one was like August 15th.
And when?
And this was like September 1st.
Oh, okay. That's not. Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, the lady who had commented on the Facebook post was a realtor herself in North Carolina. So I actually found her number, gave her a call, and we talked for like 30 minutes. And she was like, yeah, this guy he's dangerous.
Oh, gosh.
Like manipulates. He basically robs people. He's ruined several lives from Georgia to North Carolina to Utah to Florida.
Oh, my
I was like, this is insane. So... yes, if you get weird vibes, background check.
Listen to
yes,
it. Yeah, listen
background
to your
check
gut.
is not a bad idea.
I mean, like, it's good for you that you found that post. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Otherwise, you probably were like, oh, yeah, like, I haven't found anything else. Like, sounds good.
Yeah, this guy's good. Let's go show him the houses. Yeah.
I mean, and like, every once in a while, you'll find that gem where it is that $1 million client. You know what I mean? So you got to, like, have your foot in the door for that. But
yeah, anytime you get $1 million client, don't go, oh God, he's probably a criminal, and then just ghost him. No. No. Make sure you do your due diligence though.
Yeah.
Good one. Okay, let's hit our next one.
Okay, so as a realtor, yay or nay, should you influence a client's decision?
Again, maybe. Okay, so here's the deal with that. This is a pretty simple answer. As a realtor, your job is to advise. As a client, your job is to decide. So what I will do is I will advise you. I will tell you my opinion. I will tell you what I think you should do. I will tell you all the different scenarios that could take place if you make a decision one way or the other. But at the end of the day, as the client, it is your job to decide, and I legally cannot decide for you. I cannot sign for you. I cannot I'm the middleman, so I cannot tell anyone else something that you didn't tell me to tell them, right? I mean, obviously, I will negotiate on your behalf. I will work the deal absolutely on your behalf, but from things we've already discussed. We've had that conversation already. We've talked about this, and you said, yes, I'd like to do this. Sometimes clients will tell me, Tim, you tell me what to do. And I will tell them what to do, but at the end of the day, they're signing off on it. It's their choice. So it's maybe, right? I advise to the max. There's a lot of people that they want advice on everything, and they're like, you just need to tell me what to do. And I will tell them the best possible scenario for them here. But at the end of the day, it's their decision.
In the end, it's their decision.
It is their decision. Yeah.
Okay.
But I'm liable.
You're liable. It always comes back to you.
Yeah. Yes.
What about paying commission to clients?
Psych. Absolutely not. So that is actually illegal. You cannot. So there are some people that, and I've never been asked this, but I've heard of clients asking like, hey, like, since this was an easy deal for you, or since like I need a little extra cash on the side, like instead of asking for that from the client or from the opposite side, can we do like, we'll work out a deal here or something, or can you lend me money from a commission? Absolutely not. The commission can only be split between realtors. So you can split a commission with another realtor. You can give a commission, like a referral, to another realtor. But at the end of the day, you absolutely cannot give any money that came from a commission to a client. It's illegal.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
What about driving clients around?
I would say no, but it's more of like a style thing these days. And back in the olden days, pre-COVID, or honestly a little bit before that, it was pretty common. Realtors would take clients around in their cars. They'd pick them up. They'd drive to see the showings. That used to be a thing that people would do, but we do live in a different age right now, and safety is a concern. Safety is a concern not just for clients getting in the car of a realtor, but realtors getting in a car with a client.
Yeah.
You never know. Like we just talked about doing background checks and having things go wrong with clients, like what could go wrong. Not every client is safe. You have to be careful. Not every realtor is safe, right? So it's really not become a thing that people do. To be honest with you, I think I've only driven around one client, and he was like one of my best friends. And so I drove him around because we do that all the time anyway.
Yeah, that makes sense.
But for the most part, I would say that's a no.
Yeah, I would worry. Just like, I don't know this person. Like, especially if it was a stranger. Like, like what do they have on them?
Or just
are they safe?
or just like what are they thinking about the interior of my car right now?
Yeah, like McDonald's wrappers.
Yeah.
Pre-workout on the floor.
No, pre-workout always is in my bag in a safe spot. Okay, next.
Okay. What about calls after hours?
That's a yes for me. Absolutely. Now, that's really bugs my girlfriend, but I will literally take a phone call at any time. And some realtors, they will set boundaries, and good for them, right? And some don't need to take calls after 7 or 8, right? But I've taken a call at 11 p.m. I've taken a call like close to midnight.
Wow.
It depends on the situation. Like if it's just somebody that has a question that can wait till the next day, then and I know that's the question they're going to ask, then I might let it go. But really, like 99.9% of the time, I'll pick up the phone because you never know what's going on. As a realtor, you're responsible for your client and everything that happens in that transaction. And so if there's something going on, you need to know. I tell people like that, they're like, just put it down for a second. I'm like, that's not that simple. We are talking about the biggest purchase of your life. We're talking about legal. Holy crap, the pre-workout is just juicing me up right now. We are talking about the most important decision they're going to make possibly in their entire life, right? So you need to pick up the phone. Absolutely. It can't wait. I tell people if it's something that can't wait, just shoot it in a text. And if it's, it can wait, I'll text you back. But if that phone rings and it's 9:30, I'm picking it up.
Yeah. See, so my mom is a realtor, and I used to get so annoyed when I'd be in the car. So as a passenger, like in the passenger seat next to her, she'd be like, "Can you text so-and-so for me while I'm driving?"
I do that with my girlfriend all the time.
Like, can you put in this address on her little navigation on the car? And then she'll be like, "Oh, I have to make this quick call." And it goes over the speaker of the whole car. So me and my sister are like, so we have to be quiet. Or sometimes she'll even give me like a little clipboard where I'm writing the notes for her about this potential client. But as somebody that's in not necessarily the real estate world, but somebody does marketing for them, I totally get why she needs to make those calls. And yes, it's annoying at times, but like you said, there are like some where it's like, we're closing a deal tomorrow, so we want to make sure like everything's solid.
Everything is solid.
But if it's something like, oh, they just want to know what's the market like, maybe that could wait a little bit later.
Yeah, but me being me, I'll still take it anyway. Yeah, I'll still take that call. Okay, next.
Okay. Ooh la la.
Ooh la la.
Ooh la la. Should we flirt with clients?
Oh, this is a good one, and the answer is sorry. No, it's no. It's
your
no.
girlfriend would be like, yeah.
No. So first of all, let's just be very clear. I'm taken. I know. I'm sorry. I'm taken, and so that would never be a thing that would happen for me anyway. But I have heard horror stories about client realtor relationships, and it absolutely cannot occur. That's incredibly unethical. I know that there might be a temptation for people out there to do that. If you're a realtor and you think that like some people really are dedicated to getting a deal done. There have been realtors who have developed relationships with clients, and it's gotten it's gotten to a point that turned to basically illegal, and they've lost their license. It's really bad. If you're a young realtor out there and you think you're going to flirt your way to the top with clients, do not do it. Generally most of the time you're going to be talking to couples anyway, so that's not going to be a thing. But you never know. The situation could arise. Stay away from that. I think it's a funny question and somewhat of a lighthearted question, but seriously, don't put yourself in that position.
Yeah, that's just gross.
Yeah.
Don't be nasty.
Yeah. All right, next.
Okay.
That's a big, that's
double, a big
3,
no.
7, 19 X's. Okay.
So should you meet a client at the house you're going to be looking at for the first time?
Maybe is the answer. Because, but for me, I would say no for myself, but as a realtor, maybe. For me, I really want to sit down with people. I want to take them to coffee or to lunch because, first of all, I love breaking bread with people. I love community. I love building the relationship. And so I want to sit down and chat with them and get to know them. If it's somebody I've never met before, or if it's an old friend that I'm going to be working with, I want to reconnect with them. That's something I love doing. So I will always try, if at all possible, to sit down with them before we get to the actual process where you go and look at a house. There's some people that need to buy instantly, or there's some people that are not interested in having a relationship with you. That is a very real thing. There are some investor clients. There are some, honestly, just some normal clients that you run into that don't want to go to coffee with you. They don't want to go have lunch with you. They just want the house. Mm-hmm. So it's situational. But I would say if you're trying to build a relationship, if that's an important piece of your business, then yes, go meet them before you get to the house. Okay. Next.
Does the clothes you wear matter as a realtor?
Yeah. Yes, it does matter. Dress to impress, dress for success, right? I think it was Deion Sanders said, look good, feel good, play good, right? Number one, I do think that is an important piece of being an entrepreneur, is presenting yourself. Present yourself well. One time I showed up to a showing with a client that I've been working with for a long time. I showed up in shorts and a t-shirt because I was going to my team's practice afterwards because I'm an assistant coach. Anyway, this client wanted to see house very last second. I had no time to change clothes or right. So I showed him in shorts and a t-shirt, and I felt so unprofessional, and I apologized. She's like, I don't care, whatever. But you should dress in clothes that are work appropriate. I see some realtors in like t-shirts with like writing on them. It's like, no, show up in, like today is a pretty casual outfit for me. I've got, as you can see this on camera, I've got, this nice sweater that's kind of a work sweater. And I've got some, khaki shorts, but if it's suit season, then, be dressed up in a suit. You don't have to show up in a tuxedo to, and in fact, that would be a little weird, but yeah, always dress appropriately for the situation. And dress in a way that's going to impress the people that you are working with, as long as it's comfortable for you as well, because there are going to be long days. Yeah. Additionally, take care of your car, because I would argue that your car is almost as important as the clothes that you wear, because people notice the car that you drive up in. If you own a really like beat up Honda Civic from like 1992 and it's unwashed, and
I feel attacked right now.
Do you drive a
1992
Honda? Oh. If you drive something that's really beat up and it's dirty and you can see that there's just crap all over the car, people are going to judge that. Yeah. I mean, I know that there's realtors out there that will buy Teslas and BMWs and Audis to impress their clients. I don't think you need to do that. I mean, I drive a 2017 Volkswagen Jetta. Thank God it's getting repaired right now. If you listen to the other episodes, you heard about me wrecking it. Honestly, repairs were not as bad as I thought it was going to be.
Well, that's good.
That's good. But yeah, show up in a car that's nice, that's clean. I would say, invest a little bit of money into the car that you're driving. Okay. For some people that might not be realistic, but really put some effort into that, because people do notice that. Mm-hmm. Again, you don't have to have a Tesla, but don't drive this, wreck on the road, essentially.
Yeah. So my mom, she always asks me, I don't know what I should wear, to go meet a client and that kind of thing. And of course you want, like you said, you want to look professional. But you also want to still make sure you look like yourself. Yes. Actually, don't dress up to play the part. Yes. Actually, put something that's like, no, this is me. Like I don't know if you've seen my mom and the clothes she wears, but she wears bright colored tops. That's how she's always been. Yeah. It's like a kaleidoscope. But that's her. And so like wearing something that is like fashionable with those like popping colors, like that is totally her. So whatever if you have like a little niche or whatever it is, like definitely like display those, but also be presentable at the same time. Don't come in with denim shorts, crop tops, knee-high socks.
Yes. Yeah. No, that's it took me a second to realize what you were talking about. I worked with a contractor who showed up wearing that outfit the other day. It was shocking. Next.
Okay, so should you talk garbage about other realtors?
If you no, I'm kidding. No. What is happening? My thing is breaking.
Not my spoon.
No. 2 X's. You cannot talk bad about other realtors. Here's the truth. There are bad realtors out there. There are realtors that are going to drive you insane. They're going to be realtors that as a client, you don't want to work with them. As a realtor, you don't want to work with them. But you can't do that. It's against the rules. It's unethical. It's against the realtor code of ethics. You cannot talk bad about another realtor. I think it probably a little bit of it has to do with if you talk bad about another realtor, you could destroy their business. And maybe it's not true. And it's essentially what you're doing is libel. You're slandering them. Maybe you just had a bad experience with them. It was a one-off. And you go and you're a person of influence and person of power and you talk bad about them, then you destroyed their business. You got to take that very seriously. And that's tough. I mean, if there's somebody that they're doing illegal things and they're doing like that's completely different. But if, the deal just didn't get negotiated how you wanted to get negotiated and things didn't go your way, that sucks. If as a realtor, they were really difficult to work with, super uncommunicative, didn't meet deadlines, et cetera, you still can't talk bad about them. You just kind of have to hold that inside, maybe vent to your boss about it. But at the end of the day, you can't talk bad about another realtor.
No. That makes sense.
Yeah.
Should you listen to Ring cameras?
Oh, this is a good one.
I'm nosy, so I like to listen to my Ring cameras.
So it's not illegal to have recording devices on. In fact, there is a standard form that we're supposed to send out to clients, which is basically a notice of that you may be monitored or recorded during a showing. It's a real thing. Everyone has a Ring camera these days. Most people have a Ring camera. So they can usually see you outside the house. Not as many people have them inside their houses, but it's a very real thing. And I've seen it before. I've seen it in showings before. And I would tell clients before we get in, do not say anything in here about the condition of the house. Do not talk about offers. Do not talk about your financial position. I only want to hear positive things if you have positive things to say, but don't sound too excited because we don't want to give away our position, right? I basically say, watch and shut up.
Put your poker face on.
Yeah. Let's get in, let's get out, and then we'll talk about it later. Because it's a real thing. And I know that there are people that listen in on these things. It's unethical. You're invading someone's privacy at that point. It is unethical, but it's not illegal. And so there's a difference between the two. Yeah. So I tell people, just be very careful with what you say. I tell my clients not to listen to stuff. I say, come on, guys, don't listen. Yeah. Let them have their showing. Let it be private like that. But we did have a scenario in which I showed a house to this lady and we were inside the house. I noticed that there was cameras inside the house. And, you can talk through your Ring camera to somebody else.
Oh, yeah.
Right?
I've scared people before.
Yeah. We walked outside the house and we were standing in front of the door of the house. We were talking about, I don't remember what we were talking about, but we thought we were far enough away from the Ring camera at this point. All of a sudden, we realized, we hear this noise. We hear like somebody talking. The seller was listening in and didn't realize that they had turned on their speaking, their mic, the speaking function, and they start talking. And they're talking to somebody else in the room with them. Oh my and they're talking about us. They're like, yeah, I think they liked it. They're talking about the house right now. And we stand back and we're like, don't act like they know we can hear them right now as well. We're like, okay, we'll talk about this later. Have a good one. We got in our cars and we left. That and my client goes, I don't want to offer on that house and work with these people. I feel like my privacy was invaded. Yeah, so if you're gonna listen, at least don't be stupid and talk back to them on accident.
Keep yourself on mute.
Yeah. But that was one of the weirder scenarios, situations we got into. So I think I forgot to hold up my paddles, but I would say do not. Do
Oh.
not. What? That's the pre-workout. It's the pre-workout. No. Do not do that. Well, I think that was a pretty productive episode here. I'm so juiced right now. I'm still tingling.
I can still taste it.
Yes. All right. It'll be with you for a while, for about 4 hours, to be honest with you. Okay. Word of the day. Go. Go.
I can't. I don't know why the first word is promise.
This is why we do word of the day. I freaking love it. Promise. Okay. Word of the day is promise. Number of the day.
3.
24.
Oh.
Okay. I think yours was 3 last week too.
Was it?
I think it was 3.
No, it was 4.
Mine was 17 last week.
Are these
Okay.
like
No.
numbers for the game?
No, it's literally nothing. All right. Well, so next week we're going to have a new guest on. It's going to be very exciting. Ben Focus. He is a local glass blower in Newburgh. He runs his own business. It's pretty cool what he does. So tune in for next week's episode. This was a great episode with Ashley.
Heck yeah.
I'm not going to ask what's on your brain right now because literally you and
Right
I
now,
have
it's like
nothing on our brains right now because we're going to have to burn this pre-workout off for the next 3.5 hours. Poor Ethan's going to be listening to Ashley like,
And now I got nails.
It's just got nails. It's going to be really rough 3.5 hours. Thank you guys for watching another episode of Tim Talks. We really hope you enjoyed this one. Next week, we'll have another cool guest on the show. Make sure you guys know the drill. Like and follow everywhere. Watch it on YouTube, Spotify, wherever you get your podcasts. We will be back next week with another incredible Tim Talks episode.
Heck yeah.
For all the outro music.
Try and check it.